So guys, I wanted to make another video about tinnitus and my experience living with it. And I just want to say, it seems as if when you have tinnitus, at least moderate to severe, that it really does change your lifestyle. Maybe in a minimal amount or a major amount. For me, it's been, I would say, somewhere in between, maybe moderate changes that I've had to make in my life because of the tinnitus and the ringing in my ears and the increased amount that it's been since last January 23rd. And it's been pretty consistently louder and more intrusive. It waxes and wanes. I have better days. I don't really ever have any like really good days, maybe a few here and there. Where it doesn't bother me and I'm just, concentrating on other things that I'm doing in my life. But for the most part, I would say on a daily basis, if not all day, maybe periodically through the day, I'm listening to it and I'm, have a little anxiety about it. And again, I do have some sensitivity towards noise. So I do have a little bit of hyperacusis in there too. So I'm very aware of sounds around me and I'm very sensitive. And sometimes it really does, impact what I do. And for example, I was away in California visiting my friends and family over there just recently. I just got back here to New York. And I would say there's 3 occasions where it really impacted me to a point where I felt kind of bad about it, Like, okay, the first time my sister had planned an outing where we go to a play, and it was just a high school play. And, I was hoping it wouldn't be too loud. Usually those kind of things aren't too bad, and I can tolerate it. Maybe if it's a little loud, I'll put earplugs in, if there's music involved. So I did have anxiety beforehand going into it. I'm like, well, what am I going to do? If it's too loud, I'm going to have to remove myself, and then that's going to make my sister feel bad and all that. And by the way, she's so supportive and understanding of me. So, I know when it comes down to it, she's going to totally support whatever I'm going through, and she'll help me as much as she can. So I just want to put that out there. She's fantastic. She's very aware of my situation. So anyway, she bought the tickets. So I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. I'll go. Because it's kind of hit or miss, right? Some things end up being too loud and some things are tolerable, And back in the day, before all this happened with my excessive, increased ringing in my ears, I wouldn't even think twice about going to these things, So anyway, I did end up going. Probably better if you guys can see my face. I went, and literally it was like a whole production, like a professional sound system production. They had hired a company to come and, do that for this. It was a musical. And I knew as soon as I got there, as soon as they started playing the music, and I heard the sound system, like, there is no way I'm going to be able to sit through this thing at all. There is just no chance. I told my family, and I said, you guys enjoy it. I was cool with that. I'll just, go out in the waiting room. I'll find a place where I can just kind of hang out. I felt so bad about that. I'm a sensitive person. I don't want to let anybody down, but even more than that, that's even more prevalent for me is taking care of myself. I have to, and I just have to feel the way I'm going to feel and just try to work through it. So for the first half of the play musical, I just went into the ladies' lounge, and they actually had an extra room over there that was very nice and quiet and comfortable. And that's where I kind of hung out, And occasionally I just get up and, kind of watch what was going on. obviously hear what was happening, but not at the loud intensity that it would be inside. There was somebody else out there too, and we were just talking and watching it, and I was okay. I really was, but I still felt pretty bad that I couldn't be there with my family inside. So anyway, so the intermission came, and I went inside the auditorium, and I would say I think there were about 6 of us, about 5 out of 6, although I was one of the 6. So let's say 4 out of 6 that were still in there, they thought it was too loud, number one, and they couldn't wait to get out of there. Or maybe they just weren't enjoying it that much to even want to just stick it out to the end, because there was going to be another hour and a half of the musical after. Anyway, so we ended up leaving. And I kept saying, I hope you guys aren't leaving for me. I feel so bad and blah, blah, blah. But, no matter how bad I felt, I knew I had to protect myself. And that's what I'm trying to say to you guys, that, you just have to. So there was another situation where, let's see, what was the second one? We went to a restaurant that they had picked out, and it ended up being the loudest friggin' restaurant I've ever been into. Seriously, it was like going into a club. It was a Mexican restaurant, a new one. A lot of young people in there just having a good old time and eating, drinking. And you know what? You couldn't even have a conversation, seriously. And, and my sister kept saying, is this too loud for you, Deb? Because we can leave. Like I said, she's always very supportive and understanding. And I tried to stick it out. I really did. But then, I went to the bathroom just to kind of remove myself from the situation, and just think about it. And when I came back, they had already decided that they were leaving. We're all leaving. We're going to go find another restaurant. So they said it was too loud. They couldn't even have a conversation. Of course, I know they were thinking about me too. And that's another situation where, I felt bad. I felt like, here everybody's readjusting for me. But really in reality, it's because they kind of felt the same way too. But I know if it wasn't an issue for me, they probably would have stayed there. Okay, that's just a fact. So that was situation number 2 while I was there. The third situation was, we had all planned to go to the movies. And sometimes I can stay in a movie theater and it's okay. It really, again, it depends on the sound system. It depends on the movie. If it's a really loud, dynamic movie, then I probably won't be able to go to it. I already know that ahead of time. So they went, we met up for the movie, and I just, it was a brand new theater, and I'm like, I know their sound system is going to be totally great, but probably too loud for me. So, we just kind of, and my husband wasn't feeling that great anyway, so we decided to just let them know, hey, we'll meet you for dinner, but we'll pass on the movie. Again, I felt so bad because I know that my family was looking forward to all of us being there together and hanging out. And so that was the third situation that I was in. And you know what? Sometimes when you have tinnitus, you're going to find yourselves in situations like that. And the bottom line is, you have to take care of yourself. You have to protect your ears, because only you know what you're struggling with and what you're suffering with. No one else is you, and they don't know, and they don't understand. They can try to understand and be supportive, but they don't know the severity of what we go through. So again, if you have minor, low-level tinnitus, it's probably not an issue for you, although no matter what you have, even if you don't have tinnitus, you have to protect your ears, believe me. I went to a lot of concerts. What else? A lot of loud situations growing up in my teenage years, my young adult years, and I'm sure that's where I picked up tinnitus. loud noise exposure, over time is going to get you. And even one loud noise exposure, if it's loud enough, can cause some damage too. So anyway, I just want to give support out there for anybody who has to go through this. Sometimes if you're in a social situation, you have to bow out, then that's what you got to do. And it's okay. It really is okay. You may disappoint some people, but hopefully the people that you're around are supportive and they understand what you're going through. At least, try to understand. And so you try to find other things that you can do with your friends and family that are, not that loud. And there are, a lot of restaurants. There's a lot of things you can do that are fun. And we certainly did do other things that were very fun where a noise, loud noise was not an issue. So I overall had a great time when I was there, but these 3 occasions really impacted me. It made me realize that, I really do have to make adjustments with this tinnitus that I have. So anyway, I'm just wanted to make this video to say it's okay if you have to, make adjustments, and don't feel bad about it. Take care of yourself. See you in the next video.